$548. That is what one drill weekend pays a mid-career sergeant in 2026. But the 4 little points that same weekend drops into your record are worth far more than the cash, because somewhere down the line, those points quietly turn into a paycheck that lands every single month for the rest of your life. And almost nobody joining the Guard or the Reserve understands how.
This is Isabella, and here is the part that catches people off guard. You are not earning a pension by counting years. You are earning it by counting points, and one weekend a month adds up to a number most folks never even check.
Today we go deeper into the in-service money machine and show exactly how drill becomes a pension. If you are weighing the Guard or the Reserve, this is the math nobody walks you through at the recruiter's desk.
I am Kim, and the official Army benefits page is blunt about it. A qualifying year takes a minimum of 50 retirement points. Hit that 50, and the year counts towards your 20.
Hey everyone, Kai here. And the first thing to fix is a myth, because the Guard and the Reserve are not two different retirement plans. Let me put the actual institution in front of us so we are all picturing the same thing. This is the seal of the National Guard, and the Reserve sits right beside it under the same Defense Department rulebook. Same point system, same 50-point line, same formula at the end.
So whether the patch says Guard or Reserve, the money path is identical. The difference is just which component owns your unit, not how your pension gets built.
And that last point is the one that pays off later. Every extra day of duty you stack on top of drill makes the final check bigger, which is exactly where we are headed. Before we open the engine up, Isabella, you found the question that shows up under every Guard and Reserve video. Read it for the room.
Yes, and it is always the same worry. People ask, if I only do one weekend a month, is the Guard or Reserve pension even worth chasing for 20 years? That is the whole episode right there.
Great question to hold on to because the answer is hiding inside the points. Coming up, where every point comes from, the 50-point line that makes a year count, the real pension math, and the part nobody warns you about before you sign.
Points come from exactly 4 places, and once you see the 4, the whole system stops feeling mysterious. It is just addition. Let me walk the 4 sources in plain order, because the gap between a weak year and a strong one is entirely about how many of these you stack.
Start with drill. The Army benefits page says it cleanly. 1 point for each attendance at a drill period, and a standard weekend is 4 periods, so a normal drill weekend is 4 points.
12 weekends a year, 4 points each, and you are already at 48 points just from showing up one weekend a month. That is the backbone of almost everybody's year.
Then annual training. Every day you spend on orders for your 2-week stretch is 1 point per day. And active duty days count at the exact same 1 per day rate when you get mobilized or volunteer for orders.
And here is the gift nobody talks about. Just for being a member in active status, the rules hand you up to 15 points a year. You do not drill for those. You earn them by being on the rolls.
So let me add the typical year up on the board, because the total is the whole reason this topic matters. 48 from drill, 15 from annual training, 15 membership points free. Add them and an ordinary drilling year lands right around 78 points. 78 against a 50-point line means a normal year clears the bar with room to spare. The math is friendlier than the rumor mill makes it sound.
Kim, hold on. The chat is asking the obvious follow-up. Go ahead and put it to the panel.
Right, so the question is simple. If a normal year is 78 points, can you just pile on extra duty and rack up an unlimited pile every year?
Let me pause for just a second because this genuinely helps. If you are getting value here, hit that like button, then subscribe and ring the bell. It costs you nothing, and it is the single biggest thing that keeps these videos coming.
50 points is the line that decides whether a year of your life counts. Hit 50, and the year is a good year. Fall to 49, and it is as if you were never there. Picture Sergeant Alvarez, an E5 in a reserve unit who deploys for a hard tour overseas, comes home and misses most of his drills the next year, recovering and reconnecting with his kids.
And the recovery year scrapes in at only 40 points? It does not count. 12 good months of life, and the 20-year clock does not move a single tick.
That is the part that stings, Isabella. And it is exactly why those 15 free membership points matter so much. They are the cushion that pushes a thin year over the 50 line when life gets in the way.
But there is a ceiling. The Army benefits page caps inactive duty points at 130 in a year, which means drill and membership points live under that lid, no matter how many extra weekends you chase.
Hold on, so extra weekends actually stop counting at some point?
For inactive points, yes, that is the lid, but active duty days and annual training days sit outside that cap, so real orders keep adding points with no ceiling in sight.
Stack 20 of those good years and you finally qualify. The check still usually waits until age 60, but it is locked in for life once you cross that 20-year mark, and there is a backdoor on the age. Qualifying mobilization time of 90 days pulls your start date 3 months earlier per stretch, though it can never drop you below age 50.
Source on all of it is the official Army Benefits retired pay page, not a forum rumor. The 50-point line, the 130 cap, and the 20 good years are written right there.
Total points divided by 360. That single step is the whole pension formula, and 360 is just the military's count of days in a service year. Let me run a real career through it out loud so the number stops being abstract and starts being a paycheck. I will keep every figure on the receipt as we go. 20 good years at roughly 78 points each gives about 1,560 career points. Divide that by 360 and you get 4.3 equivalent years.
Nice work, Kai. Now the multiplier. The blended retirement system pays 2.0% per equivalent year, and the Legacy High 3 plan pays 2.5% for anyone who locked it in before 2018.
So 4.3 years times 2.0% under the blended system lands you at about 8.6% of your High 3 base pay, paid every month for life.
And the High 3 piece is the average of your highest 36 months of base pay, so the more rank and time you carry near the end, the larger the dollar figure behind that percentage.
Wait, 8% sounds small. Is that really worth 20 years?
Fair hit, but watch what duty does. Throw in deployments in schools and your points climb toward 1,500, 2,000, even more. And every extra point lifts that percentage in the check.
That is the lever nobody explains, Kai. A heavy career with mobilizations in schools can land thousands of points, and at the same multiplier that is real monthly money for 30-plus years of retirement.
So the boring weekend you almost skipped is 4 points, and 4 points year after year is the difference between a small check and a meaningful one. That is the takeaway to hold.
Here is the fork that actually matters before anyone signs. A Guard or Reserve pension is real but usually waits until age 60, while an active duty pension can start the day you hit 20 years, decades earlier. So which one fits a person standing at the recruiter's door right now?
The part-time path keeps your civilian career intact. You build a federal pension on the side, 1 weekend a month, while a private sector salary and a separate retirement account grow at full speed. 2 retirements stacking instead of 1.
But that pension is not free. You are trading 20 years of weekends, 2-week trainings, and the very real chance of a mobilization that yanks you out of your job and your home with little notice.
True, and the payoff waits. Active duty hands you a check the month you retire, often in your early 40s. The Guard and Reserve member sits on that benefit for 15 or 20 more years before the first dollar arrives.
So name the genuine downside of each, not just the upside. Who loses under your own pick?
The active duty path costs you control, frequent moves, long deployments. Your career belongs to the mission. The full pension early is real, but so is 20 years of giving up where you live and what you do.
And the part-time downside is the wait plus the disruption. If you need retirement income in your 40s, the Guard pension simply will not be there yet. It is a slow, delayed reward, not a fast one.
Then here is where it lands, and the sources back the shape of it. If you want a full-time military life and an early pension, active duty wins outright. If you want to keep a civilian career and still build a federal pension on the side, the Guard or Reserve is the stronger fit, as long as you can stomach the wait to 60 and the risk of being mobilized.
Neither is the universal right answer. The right answer is the one whose trade-off you can actually live with for 20 years.
Well put. So walk away with this one rule: the points build the same pension no matter which path you pick, so the real decision is never the math, it is which trade-off you can live with for 20 years. Quick recap. Points come from drill, training, active duty days, and 15 free membership points. 50 points makes a good year, 20 good years qualifies you, and your total divided by 360 drives the pension.
So the move tonight is small. Pull up your own point statement and actually count this year, because the number you find tells you exactly how close to 50 you really are.
Next time, wait until you see the survivor side of this, the one election that decides whether your family ever sees $1 of this pension after you are gone. Most people get it wrong.
If this made the points finally click, subscribe and like the video so we can keep building this in-service money series for you.
Here's the one to leave in the comments. If you could trade one extra duty day a year for a bigger pension at 60, how many would you actually sign up for?
This is Jasmine. Thanks for watching and signing off.